Have you ever stopped to think that maybe Jesus' deepest teachings were never actually revealed in the pages of the Bible? For over 2,000 years, this wisdom has stayed hidden, out of reach for almost everyone. Most people will never get to tap into this knowledge, but you're just minutes away from discovering a secret that could spark something big inside you, but only if you're truly ready to listen. Throughout history, Jesus' teachings have been interpreted in all kinds of ways, often influenced by the cultural and political vibes of the time. A lot of his deeper messages got hidden or watered down, leading to a surface-level understanding that might miss the core meaning. Traditional Christianity, as rich as it is in community and doctrine, sometimes focuses more on rituals and dogma, which can overshadow the life-changing power of Jesus' teachings. This disconnect leaves a gap between the deep spiritual message he brought and the practices of modern faith. When we look closer at the time Jesus lived, we start to see how his teachings were groundbreaking, challenging social norms and inviting people to experience a real connection with the divine. The idea that these teachings can actually raise spiritual awareness isn't just some philosophical thought. It's a call to wake up to a higher state of being. Rediscovering the hidden layers of Jesus' wisdom can open up paths to both personal and collective enlightenment. His teachings push us to move beyond fear, embrace love, and recognize the divine within us. They invite us to question what we've been told and dig deeper into our existence. Exploring this concept opens us up to a transformation, not only within ourselves but in the world around us. Before diving further into this, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, so you won't miss any of our exclusive content revealing a world beyond the usual. The teaching that the kingdom of God is actually a state of consciousness invites us to look at this idea from the inside out. Traditionally, many people think of the kingdom of God as a faraway place or a promise for the future, often tied to external circumstances or social structures. But Jesus taught that this kingdom isn't found out there in the world, but within each of us. This inward focus lines up closely with ideas of spiritual awakening and enlightenment, suggesting that true realization and a connection with the divine come from within. Recognizing the kingdom as an internal state pushes us to start a journey of self-discovery, aiming to unlock our spiritual potential. This teaching reminds us that enlightenment isn't just for a chosen few, it's available to everyone, no matter their background or beliefs. Every single one of us has the ability to tap into this inner state of consciousness, creating a deeper connection with ourselves and the universe around us. As we dive deeper into this teaching, we start to see that the path to the kingdom isn't about something external, it's about cultivating awareness, compassion, and love within our hearts. This journey nudges us to shift our focus from seeking validation outside of ourselves to finding fulfillment within. And by embracing the idea that the kingdom of God lives within us, we open up to a life that's filled with more purpose, meaning, and spiritual depth. Now, this universal truth about the oneness of our individual soul with the divine? It's a powerful concept that's echoed across tons of mystical traditions, often described through the idea of non-duality. This view suggests that the separation we feel between ourselves and the divine is just an illusion. At our core, we're all connected, different expressions of a single source. Mystics from all kinds of backgrounds, whether Hinduism, Buddhism, or Sufism, have shared this truth, pointing out that the essence of who we are is deeply connected to the larger cosmos. Embracing this teaching invites us to go beyond the limits of the ego, which often fuels feelings of isolation and separation. The ego, with all its attachments and desires, can cloud our sense of this unity, making us feel like we're separate beings navigating a disconnected world. But as we wake up to the reality of non-duality, those walls start to break down, and we realize our true nature is one with the divine. This shift opens up a doorway to a more profound spiritual connection, letting us experience love, compassion, and understanding on a whole new level. And here's the best part: this connection to the divine isn't just for a select few, it's a potential that's within each and every one of us. By nurturing awareness and adopting practices that encourage this unity, anyone can start a transformative journey to realize their inherent connection to the divine, leading to a more harmonious and fulfilling life. Exploring the meaning of spiritual vision and the awakening of the third eye can really change how we understand perception and consciousness. Having this single eye or pure perception means we're able to see beyond the dualities of the material world, giving us access to deeper truths and insights. This kind of spiritual vision lets us experience reality without the distortions of ego, fear, or preconceived notions, helping us understand both ourselves and the universe more clearly. In Eastern mysticism and yoga, the awakening of the third eye, which is often linked to the sixth chakra, is a key practice for enhancing spiritual awareness. Techniques like meditation, breath control, and mindfulness are used to activate this center, opening us up to higher levels of consciousness. When people engage in these practices, they often report profound insights and a strong sense of connection with all beings. Activating your spiritual awareness through the third eye can lead to some life-changing experiences, like sharper intuition, clearer thinking, and a deeper connection with the divine. This awakening pushes you to see beyond the usual, helping you move through life with more wisdom and compassion. Ultimately, spiritual vision is all about lighting up the path to self-realization and enlightenment. By cultivating this pure perception, we can embrace a more authentic existence, finding harmony within ourselves and with the world around us. Awakening the third eye isn't just a personal journey, it's a collective movement toward greater awareness and unity. Interpreting the deeper meaning of spiritual rebirth as a transformation of consciousness invites us to go beyond the literal idea of being born again. This concept, often tied to religious teachings, can be seen as a deep inner awakening, a shift in how we see ourselves and the world. Spiritual rebirth means letting go of old patterns, beliefs, and limitations, allowing us to embrace a renewed sense of self that aligns with our inner divine nature. This awakening isn't a one-time thing but an ongoing process of growth and evolution, helping us connect with our true essence. In many esoteric traditions, this transformation is linked closely to the awakening of Kundalini energy, which lies dormant at the base of the spine. Activating this energy is often described as a powerful force that rises through the chakras, leading to higher states of consciousness and spiritual enlightenment. When Kundalini wakes up, it sparks deep internal shifts, bringing a deeper understanding of ourselves and the universe. This process can lead to experiences of unity, love, and profound insight, guiding us toward our highest potential. The connection between spiritual rebirth and Kundalini awakening emphasizes that true transformation comes from within, as we learn to tap into the divine energy we all carry. By embracing this journey of rebirth, we can transcend the limitations of our past and step into a more empowered, authentic life, fully realizing our spiritual potential. We'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below with your thoughts on the video or any questions you have on the topic. Looking at the metaphor of the narrow gate reveals a deep take on the spiritual journey, contrasting heavily with the wide path of materialism. The narrow gate symbolizes the path of spiritual growth, often challenging and disciplined, where we have to navigate self-imposed obstacles and limitations to reach a higher state of consciousness. On the other hand, the wide path represents the allure of materialism, where distractions and shallow pursuits can lead to feelings of emptiness and disconnection from our true self. Even though the wide path might seem easier and more appealing, it often lacks the depth and fulfillment that come from real spiritual exploration. Taking the journey through the narrow gate demands courage, introspection, and the willingness to face your fears and insecurities. It's a path full of challenges, as self-discovery usually means letting go of old beliefs and habits that no longer serve us. Spiritual practice, whether it's through meditation, mindfulness, or other disciplines, can be tough, but ultimately it's rewarding, leading to deep transformation and inner peace. Embracing this transformative journey is key for anyone seeking a deeper connection with themselves and the universe. By choosing the narrow path, people open themselves to awakening their true potential and experiencing a life filled with meaning and purpose. This journey might not always be easy, but it's one packed with growth, insight, and the promise of spiritual fulfillment. As we walk this path, we're encouraged to stay steady and committed, knowing that the rewards of spiritual awakening await on the other side of that narrow gate. Exploring the mystical unity between Jesus and his followers reveals a deep source of spiritual richness, beautifully shown in the symbolism of the vine and branches. In this metaphor, Jesus is the vine, and his followers are the branches drawing life from this divine source. This image highlights the essential connection to divine consciousness, showing that real spiritual growth can only happen when individuals stay closely connected to their source. Just like branches thrive by receiving nourishment from the vine, followers of Jesus are invited to cultivate their relationship with him to gain deeper spiritual insights and transformations. This connection creates a sense of unity that goes beyond individual existence, allowing the faithful to join a collective spiritual journey. However, it's worth noting that the deepest teachings about this mystical unity are often reserved for the closest disciples, those who are committed to a deeper understanding of Jesus' messages. This exclusivity emphasizes that spiritual richness requires dedication and a willingness to dive into the mysteries of faith. As disciples engage with these teachings, they unlock the potential for greater awareness and enlightenment, ultimately leading to a richer spiritual life. The mystical unity between Jesus and his followers serves as a reminder of the importance of nurturing our connection with the divine, because it's through this relationship that we can bear the fruits of love, compassion, and wisdom in our lives. Embracing this unity invites us to explore the depths of our spiritual potential and to share the abundance of this connection with the world around us. Let's dive into what Mary Magdalene really represents. Looking at her story helps us unlock some of the deeper teachings of Jesus, showing her role as an equal among the apostles. Traditional narratives often paint a different picture, but Mary Magdalene wasn't just another follower. She was actually a key figure with profound insights into Jesus' messages. Her presence among the apostles highlights how important it is to include diverse voices in spiritual leadership, challenging the old patriarchal structures that have tried to overshadow her impact. Exploring her teachings also brings to light the power of divine feminine energy, which emphasizes qualities like intuition, compassion, and kindness. This feminine energy perfectly balances the masculine aspects of spirituality, creating a fuller understanding of the divine. Mary Magdalene's insights encourage us to embrace both energies within ourselves, helping us connect more deeply with our spiritual essence. In terms of spiritual awakening, her teachings act as a guiding light, nudging us to explore our inner wisdom and recognize the sacredness of our personal experiences. By appreciating her role and the depth of her understanding, we tap into the transformative power of her wisdom in our own spiritual journeys. Mary Magdalene embodies the spirit of awakening, urging us to let go of limiting beliefs and embrace our true selves. Her influence goes far beyond her time, resonating with modern seekers who want a more inclusive and balanced approach to spirituality. By honoring her contributions, we not only deepen our understanding of Jesus' teachings but also empower ourselves to explore the divine feminine within us, leading to a deeper spiritual awakening for all. If you're finding value in this video, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps us out and lets more people discover our content. Now think about this. What if Jesus actually spent time with Eastern sages and masters? Imagine how those encounters might have shaped his way of seeing the world and, more importantly, how he saw people. In the Gospels, he always treats each person with deep respect, valuing their essence over their social status or personal history. This sounds a lot like concepts in Buddhism, where compassion for all beings is emphasized, no matter their outer appearance or past actions. It's like Jesus was inviting us to look beyond the surface, something he might have learned from the idea that we're all expressions of the same essence, a consciousness that binds everything together. This idea of interconnectedness is also central in Eastern practices like Hinduism and Buddhism. In these traditions, the belief that we're all one and connected in a cosmic web is a big deal. Imagining Jesus absorbing and reshaping this perspective adds a whole new layer to how we understand his words. For instance, when he says we should love our neighbor as ourselves, it's more than just an ethical command. It's a revelation about the true nature of reality. We're all parts of one big whole, and by loving others, we're loving ourselves because, at our core, we're one and the same. The whole idea of forgiveness, which is such a big deal in Jesus' teachings, might actually have some cool new layers when we look at it through a possible Eastern influence. In meditation practices and Buddhist philosophy, for example, forgiveness isn't just about doing something nice for someone else. It's tied to this whole process of inner freedom. It's about letting go of the stuff that keeps us stuck in pain, resentment, and grudges. If Jesus encountered this concept, he might have adapted it to show that forgiveness isn't just an act of kindness toward others, it's really about healing ourselves. In this way, when we forgive, we're breaking free from the emotional chains that keep us tied to the past and to suffering, something Jesus emphasized so powerfully in his stories and teachings. Another fascinating idea to think about is the possibility that Jesus might have been exposed to meditation, a core practice in Eastern traditions for reaching higher states of consciousness and understanding yourself and the universe on a deeper level. Meditation might have helped Jesus tap into a spiritual dimension that went beyond the traditional beliefs and rituals of his time. Through meditation, he could have experienced what many traditions describe as a union with the divine, something he certainly passed on in his teachings, whether by connecting with God, as he called it, or the kingdom of God, he said, is within us. This whole idea that the divine is within us is revolutionary and closely linked to Eastern traditions, which also teach that the ultimate truth is within each of us, waiting to be discovered. This broader and more inclusive view of spirituality might also explain why Jesus often pushed back against the limitations of the religious institutions of his time. He promoted a direct connection with God, without needing middlemen, which aligns with Eastern practices of individual spiritual pursuit. Instead of relying on complex rituals or depending on priests, he taught that anyone could access the divine directly. All it takes is an open heart and letting love flow. This simple, straightforward approach could be seen as a blend of everything he might have learned on his journeys, combining the best of different traditions and making a spiritual path that anyone could follow. The connection between Jesus' teachings and Eastern spiritual practices reminds us that the search for truth is universal. Across various cultures around the world, we find stories of wise figures and teachers who shared messages of peace, compassion, and love. The very concept of enlightenment, common in Buddhism, where it's the ultimate goal of spiritual practice, could be reimagined in the context of Jesus as full union with God, a deep understanding of truth and the divine nature that he was always trying to convey. When Jesus said, "I and the Father are one," it feels like he wasn't just stating a belief, but maybe sharing a mystical experience he had. Maybe this connection with the divine was even influenced by some of those Eastern practices of unity and spirituality. Exploring these lost years of Jesus isn't just fascinating, it broadens our view of spirituality as something universal. No matter where he went or who he learned from, what really stands out is that his messages carry values we see across different cultures around the world. And maybe that's why his teachings still feel so powerful and life-changing today. They remind us that, deep down, we're all on a similar journey, trying to find our place in the universe and understand our connection to the divine. This spiritual journey is something all of humanity shares. And through his messages of love, forgiveness, and unity, Jesus invites us to look within and find the divine spark within each of us. Looking back at these hidden teachings of Jesus, we uncover layers of wisdom that go way beyond the surface. They reveal a deep, personal journey that invites real transformation. Jesus taught that the kingdom of God isn't out there somewhere, it's within each of us. It's this inner peace and connection that we can only access through self-awareness and self-understanding. Grasping this is the first step to living a fuller, more meaningful life, one where we're aligned with our purpose and feel more connected to the divine. Reflecting on this mystical bond Jesus spoke of, between himself and his followers, we start to see he was showing us how to live in communion with the divine, not as separate beings but as part of something much bigger. And this unity isn't just about belief, it's about living in harmony with higher principles that bring peace, love, and compassion to every interaction. It reminds us we're not alone on this journey. We're connected, and together, we tap into a strength far greater than anything we could reach on our own. And then, there's the fascinating role of people like Mary Magdalene. She wasn't just a follower. Many traditions and texts depict her as having a unique spiritual bond with Jesus, one that goes beyond conventional narratives. Mary Magdalene represents the divine feminine, that intuitive wisdom and strength that balances and complements Jesus' energy. By exploring her story, we see how essential this balance between masculine and feminine is for our own spiritual growth. It's that harmony that helps us become whole. These teachings are like an invitation to go beyond the surface-level beliefs that, more often than not, limit how we see the world and our connection with the divine. Instead of getting caught up in rituals or outside practices, we're being called to look inward and embrace a true connection with what's sacred inside us. This shows up in living with more compassion, being kinder to ourselves and others, and nurturing an open, welcoming heart, ready to learn, grow, and transform. By the end of this journey together, we invite you to keep exploring these themes. On our channel, you'll find a variety of content that dives deeper into spiritual awakening, the importance of the divine feminine, and the universal truths that connect us all as humans on a quest for a greater purpose. This path isn't something we walk alone, it's a shared journey. Each of us brings our experiences, discoveries, and growth, and together we create a space for support and exchange, where we can all flourish spiritually. If you found value in the ideas we discussed, consider subscribing to the channel, liking this video, and sharing it with others who might benefit from these insights. When you do, you're not just supporting the channel, you're helping to spread this message to a bigger audience, touching lives and encouraging the spiritual growth of others. That's our purpose here, to build a community where we can support and grow together, where we walk the path to enlightenment hand in hand. Remember, the search for truth and understanding is an ongoing process. There's no final destination. With every new insight, every breakthrough, we're opening a new door to more knowledge and depth. Over time, you'll see that this spiritual journey is a transformative experience that touches every part of your life, your relationships, your decisions, and how you view the world. We believe that as we dive into more content and reflections together, you'll find valuable tools and insights to help shape a fuller, richer life. Our hope is that every video, every conversation, is a step toward the understanding and inner peace we all seek. We're excited to keep moving forward with you on this journey, diving deeper into these teachings and discovering new ways to apply these timeless truths in everyday life. May you feel the transformation all around you, and especially within. After all, The real path to enlightenment starts with our ability to look inward and find the divine spark within us, always waiting for us to recognize it.